guys, I got this tank. It's from a CB125 and it has a huge dent right here on this side. Let me see if I can show you the shape of the dent here. So yeah, pretty big dent. Otherwise, it's not a bad looking tank, just this big dent. So I'm gonna try and get this dent out, and I'm not gonna use those paintless dent techniques that you hear about, because I don't think that would work. This is a not super thin sheet metal, and it's all curvy, so it's gonna be difficult to work out. And my first thing I'm gonna try is I made like a little tool here. I don't know if you'd call it a hammer or a dolly. It kind of be used as both, and it'll slide through the hole in the tank here and make the correct bend. And of course I made it out of an old crowbar, as you can obviously see. And my first attempt is going to be to use it as a dolly while I hammer on the high spots around here like this. And I might not use this metal hammer, I might get a nylon hammer. And I don't know if it'll work or not, so we'll see. But if you're seeing this video, it's probably because it did work. So continue watching. Okay, I got this nylon hammer, super cheap little nylon mallet from Harbor Freight, and I'm gonna flatten one of these sides so that's the right shape for hammering on the outside here. Okay, I got a mostly flat mallet now. So I don't know if I said this yet, but yeah, you want to hammer. Yeah, the dent is obviously pushed in, but key principle of automotive bodywork when dealing with a hammer and dolly is you want to tap in on the high spot. So there's a dent going in, there's always a high spot going out too, or the whole surrounding area, the sheet metal's high. It's obvious to me that this is high right here, but not over here. So I'll just work right here, and that will just get a little bit better, make the dent a little bit better, and then I'll have to come in from the inside. Of course, you want to start from the outside, work your way into the middle. And I should say that I'm placing this so that it's right in the middle of the dent. And as you tap down on the high spot, this will push in on the low spot, push up on the low spot, and should make the dent a little smaller. That's all I can do working from the outside of it. It's probably not much different, and I'm sure that it's not even showing up on the camera for you. Okay, I'm gonna try something. I figured out that if I snake it in this way, then I can kind of like actually try and pry the dent out. And before I work it any harder though, I'm going to round off this edge here so it's nice and soft. Okay, I've been working on it for a few minutes now, like half an hour, and I figured out that the key is to like get this left in there, like that, and then you can hit it with your hammer. And that'll poke out a piece there. And this is definitely not quality automotive body work. This is not what they would tell you to do. But you have one tiny little access hole and the dent is way over there. And it's actually working. Let's see if you can see this in the camera here. So it's coming out, but it's gonna be extremely lumpy. This will never be perfect, but it's gonna be better hopefully. Hey, it'll hold more gas, that's the point. So I've gotten maybe half the dent out. But what I need to do next is I can't go any further with these primitive tools. I'm gonna have to use a stud welder, weld the studs on there and pull on the studs with a slide hammer. Now, like a lot of you at home, you probably don't have a stud welder, and neither do I. In fact, I didn't even have a slide hammer until a few moments ago when I made one. Really easy to do. You get some vice grips. I took a big long bolt here, bolted it to the end. There's the head of the bolt, and with a giant socket, insert it in there. This was a 36mm socket I was using for a house. So I'll get it prepped now for welding some studs onto it just with a MIG welder. And it doesn't work as well, but I'll try. I'm gonna try and keep this graphic. I'm gonna try graphic, see what happens. Okay, now before I weld anything to it, obviously you need to worry about the gas fumes inside the tank. And everyone's heard a story from their grandpa about how a guy was welding a gas tank and it exploded and no one ever saw him or heard from him again or something like that. And so you could fill with water. I don't think that'd be a terrible idea, but I guess the gas residue would still be on the inside of the tank. And what's better, they say, is to just fill it with an inert gas, and because a flame needs oxygen to burn, so there's no oxygen, and instead there's an inert gas that would take care of that problem. So I'm just going to fill it up with my CO2 argon mix and then tape it shut. I'll do that first. And if it does explode, it'll be here on camera for all of you guys to enjoy. Okay, it's sealed shut. And I know that it's filled with argon because I took this lighter and I lit it and I stuck it in the hole and the flame immediately extinguished. So there's no oxygen in here. So it's all good to weld on. Let's do it. So I'm using little nails here, little finish nails. It's pretty thick sheet metal, isn't it? So I'm gonna need several of these and weld those on, and then I'm going to start pulling them methodically, I think. Oh, this has the added benefit of shrinking the metal a little bit, which I think will be a benefit in this case. And you want to work from the outside in.